Most people were never taught how money really works. They went to school, learned math, history, science, but nobody sat them down and explained the actual rules of building wealth. Not the basics, not the textbook answers, the real rules. The invisible ones that separate people who struggle financially their entire lives from those who quietly build something that lasts. And the most frustrating part, these rules aren't complicated. They're just hidden in plain sight. This video is going to change the way someone looks at money, not with tips to save a few dollars on coffee, but with principles that genuinely reshape financial outcomes when applied consistently. Let's get into it. The rules nobody teaches about how money thinks. The first thing most people get wrong about money is that they treat it like a finish line. Earn enough, spend freely, repeat. But wealthy people treat money as a tool, something that works for them, rather than something they work for. That single mindset shift is where everything begins.
3% annual return if you had to start again with under $1 million.
One of the most successful investors in history still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for roughly $31,000. A man worth hundreds of billions of dollars, and he hasn't upgraded his home in decades. That's not accidental. That's a principle at work. Wealth is built silently. It doesn't announce itself with luxury purchases. Real wealth is the money not spent, the assets quietly growing while life continues as normal. This connects to one of the most overlooked rules in personal finance, the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset puts money into someone's pocket. A liability takes it out. A rental property is an asset. A luxury car that loses value the moment it drives off the lot is a liability dressed up as a status symbol. The wealthy build portfolios full of assets, dividend-paying stocks, real estate, ownership stakes in businesses. Everyone else spends their prime earning years financing liabilities they can't really afford. There's also a deeply misunderstood rule about debt. Most people hear the word and feel immediate anxiety, understandably so. But wealthy individuals don't fear all debt. They make a clear distinction between good debt and bad debt. Good debt is used to acquire something that generates income or grows in value over time. A real estate investor who takes out a mortgage on a rental property and earns monthly rent while the property appreciates, that's strategic leverage. Bad debt is maxing out a credit card for a vacation or a gadget that's obsolete in 2 years. The tool isn't the problem. The purpose is. Jay-Z built a business empire partly by understanding this principle deeply.
Music. And a guy by the name of Jazz, who I started out with really early.
He didn't just collect paychecks from music, he invested in real estate, a sports agency, an alcohol brand, and a streaming platform. He turned money into assets that kept producing more money. His net worth didn't grow because of album sales alone. It grew because he understood the difference between earning and owning, the invisible force that builds or destroys wealth. There's a force working on every person's money right now, silently, relentlessly, every single day. It either works in someone's favor or against them. That force is compound interest. Albert Einstein reportedly referred to compound interest as the eighth wonder of the world, noting that those who understand it earn it, while those who don't pay it. It's a simple concept with staggering implications. When money is invested and the returns are reinvested, growth becomes exponential over time. A single dollar invested in someone's 20s is worth dramatically more than the same dollar invested in their 40s. Not because of effort, but because of time. This is why wealthy people automate their investing. They don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left over. They direct money into investments the moment it arrives. This pay yourself first rule is one of the most powerful financial habits in existence, and it works precisely because it removes emotion from the decision. The system runs, and the math does the rest. Rihanna is a perfect modern example of this principle applied to business.
Rich girl Riri, but not now. She has been, but Rihanna is now the youngest self-made billionaire woman.
When she launched Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty, she didn't just lend her name to a brand, she took an ownership stake. She let the business compound. Fenty Beauty alone reportedly generated over $1 billion in revenue within its first couple of years. She used the same runway of time and reinvestment to create a result most people couldn't imagine. Patience combined with ownership is a formula that shows up repeatedly in great financial success stories. But here's where compound interest quietly destroys people who ignore this rule: consumer debt. Credit card companies are masters of this very same force, turned against the borrower. A balance left unpaid at high interest rates compounds against the cardholder each month. The borrower works harder and harder while the balance barely moves. The same mathematical law that creates fortunes for the disciplined creates financial quicksand for the careless. Understanding this force and choosing which side of it to stand on might be the single most important financial decision a person ever makes. It demands patience, and patience, as it turns out, is one of the rarest commodities in modern financial life. The habits that keep wealth hidden and growing. The final set of hidden rules isn't about numbers or formulas, it's about behavior, the daily habits and psychological patterns that quietly determine financial outcomes over decades. The most counterintuitive rule in this category is this: real wealth is invisible. The flashiest person in the room is almost never the wealthiest. The designer watch, the rented luxury car, the constant posts about a lavish lifestyle, these are often signs that money is being spent, not stored. True financial security lives in places nobody can see. It sits in index funds and real estate equity and business ownership. It doesn't perform for an audience. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same grey tee, rather than in a 5-star hotel. These aren't stunts. They reflect an understanding that energy spent on appearance is energy diverted from growth. Living below one's means, even dramatically below, is what creates the margin to invest, take risks and build. Another overlooked behavioral rule is the power of multiple income streams. Financially stable people rarely depend on a single paycheck. They build side businesses, invest in dividend stocks, earn royalties, generate rental income, and create digital assets. This isn't just about making more money, it's about creating resilience. If one stream slows down, others keep flowing. Single income dependency is fragile. Diversification is how wealth survives unpredictable economic conditions. Then there's the rule about financial education as a lifelong commitment. The wealthy read. They study market cycles, tax strategies, business psychology, and investment principles, not once in a personal finance class, but continuously, as conditions change. Built a billion-dollar cosmetics brand partly because she studied what her audience wanted and adapted fast. She understood leverage, branding, and audience ownership in ways most people her age never considered. Financial knowledge, applied at the right moment, multiplies every dollar behind it. Keeping financial details private is also something wealthy individuals tend to do instinctively. Displaying income openly invites unwanted pressure, comparison, and sometimes manipulation. Quiet discipline consistently outperforms loud ambition when it comes to building lasting wealth. The rules of money have always existed. They aren't locked behind ivy, covered walls, or hidden in private banking meetings. They're available to anyone willing to shift their perspective and commit to applying them consistently over time. The gap between financial struggle and financial freedom isn't income, it's behavior. It's understanding that money follows principles, not luck. It rewards patience over impulse, ownership over spending, and long-term thinking over short-term satisfaction. The people who master these hidden rules don't all start wealthy. Many start with almost nothing. But they understand something most people don't: that money, handled the right way, has a very reliable habit of growing. The only question is whether someone chooses to learn these rules now, or keeps wondering why the finish line never seems to get closer.